Finally, guys, we have arrived at the Colombia Icefield, a network of glaciers that has been around since the last ice age. The star of the show? The Athabasca Glacier. So we are here at the parking area of the Colombia Icefield Visitor Center. There is a lodge here that sits on top of the center. They also have souvenir shops and restaurants and coffee shops. The following photos were taken August 2022 with my parents. There, my mom and dad had enjoyed with me the Athabasca Glacier here. And now I am back. We are going to experience the Athabasca Glacier and Skywalk Tour. So let's go.
Hey, good afternoon, folks. How are we all doing today? Good. Glad to hear. My name's Sam. I'll be driving you guys up to the transfer base. It's going to be about a 5-minute drive, so try your best not to get too attached. I'll be going over some safety information about the coach before we depart. First, located all the way at the back of the bus, above the center of the aisle on the ceiling, is a roof emergency exit hatch. Any window that you see with a long orange stripe on the bottom of it is an emergency exit window. Located right here in this overhead bin, to my left, your right, marked with the red cross, are 2 first aid kits. And directly below the 2 front seats, behind the driver's seat, is a fire extinguisher. So thanks for being our firefighters today, guys. Really appreciate it. Most importantly, though, this is our front door. And I saw each and every one of you use it perfectly. So we're going to keep using that one today. Sound good? Awesome. Hope you guys remember all this because it will be on the test.
Oh.
Great. Let's head out. Special place. Located on the borders of Treaties 6 and 8, Métis Region Number 4, and the unceded Thompson Okanagan Territory. We are very grateful, and we respect all the land that we use here. All right, how did everybody enjoy their drive-in today? Good. How many people are coming in from the Banff Lake Louise area? Yeah, a few. Anyone coming in from Jasper? Yeah. Anyone coming in from Rocky Mountain House? No? Good. We're off to a great start then today, guys. So I'll be going over some information about the ecoregions that we have here in the Rocky Mountains as we make our way up to the transfer base. Starting first with the one that is the lowest in elevation, we have the Montane ecoregion. The Montane ecoregion spans from 1,000 meters above sea level to 1,600 meters above sea level. As it is the lowest in elevation of our 3 Rocky Mountain ecosystems, it is also the warmest, and this means it will promote the most biodiversity. This is where you'll find most of your leafy green deciduous tree forests that shed their leaves in the winter months, and it is also the animaliest region too. This is where you'll find mostly deer, elk, and moose, but you may also see some wolves, black bears, and grizzly bears. Was anyone lucky enough to see a bear on their way in today? Yeah, what kind of bear was it? Black bear, awesome. Black bears love to graze the side of Highway 93 for buffalo berries, so there's always a chance to see them, but also, we do have a grizzly bear in the area. Mother bear number 222 from Jasper National Park, or Helen, as we like to call her, has been in the Columbia Icefield area for about a month now with her 2 cubs, Cody and Otis. If at any point today you see a white Parks Canada vehicle with a green stripe down the side, that means that Helen, Codes, and Oats are probably nearby, so take lots of great pictures, but please keep a very safe distance, as they are still grizzly bears. Now, it's very unusual for bears to be up in this area, as we are currently located in the subalpine ecoregion. The subalpine region spans from 1,600 meters above sea level to 2,300 meters above sea level. As I'm sure you've noticed from your drive-in, it's a little bit colder up here, but we've still got a whole bunch of life around us. Looking around, you'll see lots of lush green coniferous forests, mostly populated by lodgepole pine trees, spruce, and fir, and we do have a fair amount of animals here too. Bighorn sheep, also known as rams. Hopefully you guys run into them before they run into you. We've also got mountain goats, hoary marmots, Colombian ground squirrels, and cougars. In fact, there's a cougar that lives in the forest just off to the left-hand side of us. A friend of mine went on a hike to see if he could find it, and things seem to be going well. She's 55, and they've got a second date planned. Now moving on up, does anybody want to guess the region above the subalpine region? Alpine, that's right. Smartest bus I've had today. The Alpine region spans from 2,300 meters above sea level all the way to the top of the tallest mountains. Like my ex-girlfriend, the Alpine region is cold, harsh, and unforgiving.
Oh no.
Now, you're not going to find many, if any, plants up in the Alpine region, and you can actually see where it begins on the side of any given mountain by looking for what we call the tree line. Since trees don't grow in the alpine region, there's a hard-cut line of trees about 3/4 of the way up any mountain. So next time you guys are on the highway, take a look, see what you can find. All right, folks, I will be dropping you off to your ice driver now, Jez. Jez is one of our best drivers and our third most handsome driver. In case anyone's wondering, I am the fifth. Going for fourth. Please make sure to take all of your belongings, children, and spouses with you as you exit the vehicle. Anything that gets left on my bus today can be found tomorrow morning on eBay.
Is everybody nice and warm on the bus? Don't get too used to it. So before we get started here, how's everyone doing? Me too. Thanks for asking. Is it everyone's first time on a glacier?
Second time.
Me too. Thanks for asking. So my name is Jez. I'll be your humble driver for the next hour. I'll be driving up to the glacier. It's another 15-minute drive. Once we get there, I'll give you guys about a half hour to take your photos, your videos, your Snapchats, your TikToks, whatever you guys like to do these days. Once you're satisfied, I'll be driving you back here. It's another 15-minute drive. And once we get to this spot, there'll be another driver just like Sam, and we'll bring you straight to the skywalk. How does that sound?
Yeah, awesome.
Alright, folks. Now before all that, just some safety out of the way. Right behind me is our fire extinguisher. Right by the entrance is the first aid kit. We've got 2 emergency windows on both sides of the bus, as well as the 2 emergency hatches at the very back. Our main entrance and exit is the door where you came from, as well as the emergency door on the driver's side as well. It is going to be bumpy, so don't forget to fasten that seatbelt. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Let's build this popsicle stand. Welcome to the Canadian Rockies. Welcome to my backyard. Wherever you're from, whether it's the United States, Canada, or anywhere else in the world, I guarantee that glaciers have a big impact in our daily lives. In about 10 minutes, you'll be walking on an ancient glacier. So to really appreciate what you'll be standing on, I'll describe to you what a glacier is, what it's made out of, and how it affects the area. For some of you, this might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so let's keep an open mind and make the most of this tour. Allow me to take you on a grand adventure through ice and time. Ooh. So does anybody know what a glacier is made out of? Any guesses? Ice, yeah, that's correct. Glaciers are made out of ice. Now, the ice in your freezer or the ice in your cocktails is very different from glacial ice. Glacial ice is much denser, much stronger, strong enough to carve through mountains and create valleys. For example, the ice in your freezer is usually about 50% ice and 50% air. But glacial ice is only 10% air and 90% ice. Ooh. Now the process of making glacial ice is called fermentification. That's what the eye and I know. We're making glaciers here, not babies. Now fermentification means intense pressure and time. So it's a lot like making a snowball. The more time and pressure you put into compacting a snowball, the more air you're pressing out. So the harder and denser it will be, and the more it will hurt your target. For me, it was my little sister, my parents' favorite. Now it's the same for making glacial ice, but on a much larger scale. Imagine 10 feet of snowfall making only 1 foot of glacial ice. Now imagine meters upon meters of snowfall and years and years of fermentification. To put it in perspective, it takes about 4 to 5 years to create glacial ice, but thousands of years to create glaciers. Ooh.
Wow.
Now we have many different types of glaciers here in the Canadian Rockies. On top of that mountain, in the very corner, that is the Andromeda Glacier. To the left of that is the AA Glacier. To our 9 o'clock would be the Northern Face Glacier. You would have seen it on the way up. Now these 3 glaciers are known as independent glaciers. And they're independent because they don't need no man. They're also independent because they're not connected to an ice field, unlike our destination. Around the corner, there it is, the Athabasca Glacier. Now this glacier is known as an outlet glacier because it actually serves as an outlet to an ice field, the Colombia ice field. Now most of you probably thought you'd be walking on the Colombia ice field today, and you're sort of right, sort of wrong. Allow me to describe the difference between an ice field and a glacier. So everybody put your hand out into the shape of a bowl. Imagine the palm of your hand is a basin. Your fingers are like mountains surrounding that basin. So if I pour water into your hand, you can think of the water as glacial ice. Now the water in your palm, it's like a giant frozen lake. And that's what we call an ice field. It's a giant frozen lake. Now throughout the years, some fermentification and some snowfall, so some glaciers begin to grow from that giant frozen lake. They start carving through the mountains. So now there's space in between your fingers. Now the spacing between your fingers are like valleys. So the water flowing in between your fingers, they're like giant frozen rivers. That's what we call an outlet glacier. That's what the Athabasca is. It's a giant frozen river flowing from a giant frozen lake. But to be considered an ice field, it must have at least 2 outlet glaciers. But the Colombia ice field, much like my little sister, is quite the overachiever. It has not 2, but 6 outlet glaciers, and it spans over 165 kilometers squared. Ooh. Ah. Now I hope everyone enjoyed my tour so far, but it's only downhill from here. We're about to go down the steepest unpaved road in North America with a 32% grade. But don't worry, this ice expert can handle a 36% grade. So I have a lot of faith in that 4%.
Oh my gosh, that's so steep.
I've got the best driver on this side of the Mississippi.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Now on the way down, I'm going to be a little quiet so you guys can enjoy the views. This is actually the best view in the entire tour. So as we're going down, if you want to open a window and pull out your phones, take a video, I do recommend it. Just make sure you hold on tight to those phones. If you do manage to drop your phone and it somehow falls out of the Ice Explorer, you got to let me know right away. You can let me know by raising your hand. That way I too can raise my hand and we can both wave your phones goodbye forever. Otherwise I'll see you guys at the bottom. Enjoy the world's slowest roller coaster ride. I just gotta wait for that Ice Explorer to reach the bottom, then we can head down. Then we'll send it. Oh, Patrick's coming up. Everybody wave to Patrick. Patrick happens to be the second most handsome guy in the Columbia Ice Field. You guys know who number 1 is though, right? Sam. Sam is pretty handsome. Sam's number 1. He's very modest. He probably told you he's number 5, right? By the way, if you guys see Sam on the way back, make sure you say goodbye to him. It's actually his last name.
Oh my gosh.
Well, good. Sorry about that. So that hill we went down, it's actually called a lateral moraine. The way glaciologists can tell how large a glacier was in different periods of time is through a word we call moraines. It's a French word for piles of loose rock and dirt. It's pretty much anything that's been pushed, pulled, carried, or left behind by the glaciers. So lateral meaning side, since that was our lateral moraine, that actually shows us how tall the glacier used to be when it was its largest back in 1843. Ooh. Ah.